So what's up everybody, these are going to be my predictions for Black Clover 331. I think this chapter is going to wrap up basically the Spade Kingdom arc. Also, I definitely think we're going to have towards the end a plot twist to keep us interested into the future plot lines of the story. So let's get into my Black Clover 331 predictions. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, so we should hit me with some false copyright strikes. So let's get this channel back to 5,000. Check out the Discord and Patreon. I have a second channel that focuses on One Piece. I will start applying Boruto videos as well, so just be on the lookout for that. So yeah, I definitely think this arc is over, the Spade Kingdom arc, because everything seems to have been leading that 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 was going to end up being the big villain of this arc. I wish the arc would have continue a little bit more, but the fact that 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚒 left is a sign that this arc is over. So we're going to be in a interesting time in this chapter, because I think this chapter is going to be like the bridge between this arc and the next arc, which the next arc would most likely focus on 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚒's plan of whatever he wants to do with 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢's heart. And this chapter we're probably going to have a little bit tease as to what Charlotte said to Yami. She might get an inner dialogue, or she might speak to somebody about this. As well, we're probably going to get like a wrap up of what just happened. So people are going to regroup, and we're definitely going to have an interesting conversation between Yuno and the Spade Kingdom resistance, because basically now that the Dark Triad has been defeated, plus it doesn't seem like any devils are going to be any problems for right now because the 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚒 left. I think they're going to have a conversation with Yuno possibly being the next Spade Kingdom king, because the royalty throne is basically up for grabs now. Xenon's out, Vanica seems like she's out of commission, and Dante, we're probably thinking that Jack finished them off. So with that being said, I have the feeling we might see Dante in this chapter, because I'm not entirely sure that Jack actually finished off Dante, because we probably would have gotten a scene of him fading away. I think Jack may have somehow captured Dante in a way. I'm just putting it out there. I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but that is a possibility. I did read one of you guys' comments, and one of you guys said something very interesting, is that Vanica is going to be used as basically a scapegoat as to what happened in the Elf arc, and that makes total sense. That's why I think that there's a possibility that Dante might still be alive, but he's captured somehow. I don't know how they would do it, because I don't know if Jack really finished him off, because we haven't seen his body disintegrate like we did with Xenon, because Xenon is definitely gone. He is no longer alive. Vanica, she's most likely alive, and she's going to be used as proof that there's more devils in the world, because basically Asta's trial, they couldn't prove there was other devils. They were trying to pin it on Asta, who's devil possessed. So the fact that we have another devil possessed person, they could most likely blame everything on her, and that will leave Asta to be free. And I want to see Asta's name being cleared, because he worked too hard to save the world, to save the Clover Kingdom, for him to be labeled as a criminal. And of course, I know it's all classism. Hopefully Asta after this gets promoted, because he deserves a high promotion after what he did. He saved the world, so he needs to be promoted in the Magic Knight squads. He just defeated 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚒 that took on all the captains at once and bodied them. And Asta, with the help of Yami, Not, and Yuno, defeated him. So I think the Black Bulls are going to have more respect, and also Yuno as well, moving forward after this arc is finished. And because I think the next couple of chapters is going to be the bridge between the Spade Kingdom arc and the arc afterwards, we're probably going to get a lot of dialogue coming up between what just happened with the Spade Kingdom, you know, what they're going to do moving forward, what is Yuno going to do, and what is Asta's role into influencing Yuno's decision. Is he going to be in the Spade Kingdom, or is he going to be the vice captain of the Golden Dawn? And we all know that he's going to be the vice captain of the Golden Dawn, but who's going to replace Yuno's position? Somebody's going to have to be the leader of the Spade Kingdom. It could be the person that went to the 𝚲𝚙 village that was part of the Spade Kingdom resistance, that could hold the throne for Yuno until he feels like he's able to become the next king. Or there's a possibility that the Spade Kingdom just gets absorbed into the Clover Kingdom, which would be epic, because doesn't the Spade Kingdom technically own the Diamond Kingdom? Speaking about the Diamond Kingdom, I hope we get some type of conversation as to what's going on with them. Like, we need an update. Mars was completely absent this whole entire arc, which makes no sense. I mean, he was mentioned in this arc. 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚅 should have shown him a little bit, you know, because he has good connections with the Diamond Kingdom's king, and a lot of the Diamond Kingdom was taken over by the Spade Kingdom, but they didn't do anything. They just bowed down to the Spade Kingdom, which is crazy. Obviously, we know that the Dark Triad were just on another level. It's crazy now that the current cast has defeated the Dark Triad. Even though they defeated the Dark Triad in a group, they did something that, from what it looks like, hundreds, if not thousands of mages couldn't do when they're fighting against 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛. So this is epic. I wonder if there's other mages and other humans, they're going to be just as powerful, or if not powerful, than the Dark Triad. I definitely think it's possible because we haven't seen what the dwarves can do. We know that they're out there, but this chapter will most likely touch on the fact that we might see some snippets, at least a panel or so, of Mars and what he's been up to, because we need to see what's going on with the Diamond Kingdom. We don't even know how the Diamond Kingdom king looks like, so this chapter we might see a glimpse of him, if not a silhouette, so be on the lookout for that. Also, we definitely need to get an update with Julius. Like last time we saw Julius, he was basically on the floor because he had a bad feeling that something huge was gonna come out, which was Lucifer on 𝚲𝚘𝚡, those two supreme devils, and the cherry on top, one of those supreme devils was the king of devils. So where is Julius? It was very sus that he had that feeling. Why did him out of everybody have that feeling? So we're definitely gonna get an update, at least a page or a panel or two of Julius, and we're probably gonna get an update with what's going on with the Clover Kingdom currently. Another thing I see happening in this chapter is the captains. They were all beaten pretty badly, but I definitely see them having a conversation with Yami, Not, and Asta, also with the Black Bulls as well. We're probably going to see them have a lot more respect for the Black Bulls squad, because basically the Black Bulls is what turned the tides of this war, and if it wasn't for Asta, who's a Black Bull member, the world would have ended basically. Besides Vanessa and Gray, when Asta just defeated Dante and he woke up in the hospital, and when we were introduced to Not that chapter, nobody's mentioned Asta's devil arm. Like, I hope they have a conversation with that, because it just seems weird that nobody really talked about it besides that one chapter when that healer mage was trying to heal Asta, and as well as Liebe. Like, they can all see Liebe on his shoulder, right? I hope they talk a little bit more about Liebe, and Liebe gets to introduce himself officially with the Black Bulls, because it just seems weird that Liebe is on Asta's shoulder not saying anything and nobody pointed out that's the devil on your shoulder. And I understand that most likely Asta introduced Liebe when he was on his way to go to 𝚬𝚌 Kingdom after he defeated the ancient demon. Still, like, I want us to see that interaction, Liebe's introduction with the Black Bulls. Maybe it might end up being something like how 𝚲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛 and Not's devils kind of don't really say anything too much. They're just there. That could be what happens with Liebe, but I highly doubt it, because Liebe seems to have the most characterization of his own entire race. So I highly doubt we're not going to have some type of comical skit or some type of dialogue being exchanged between the Black Bulls and Liebe. And I said this in another video before, it would be very funny if 𝚲𝚘𝚙, when he gets introduced to Liebe, he mentions like something about his sister and does that creepy older brother thing that he's always doing. That would be hilarious to me. Another thing as well that I want to speak about is Noelle. Like, is Noelle actually going to keep undine? Are they going to do like a 50-50 split? Can undine go to 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑 now? Because technically she has a contract with Noelle, but it was to save 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑. So I don't know how is that going to play out, and to buff Noelle only to nerf her right after wouldn't sit well with the fandom. I mean, it's 𝚲𝚑's story, he can do whatever he wants, but hopefully this chapter explains that, because it just will be like pointless to me in a way to have Noelle have such an awesome power up only to be taken away after this arc. Maybe there's going to be like a story between Noelle and Focolion, and Focolion finally mastering Salamander. Hopefully that gets played out and they can learn from but at the end of the day, I'm just a reader. This is not my story. But something tells me that Noelle will keep undine somehow. I don't think it's going to be that easy for 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑 to get back undine. Plus, 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑 officially has 𝚲𝚘 now. Even though 𝚲𝚘 we've seen isn't the strongest, but at least she has a strong mage protecting her, and that could be the reason why 𝚲𝚑 kept 𝚲𝚘 alive, even though a lot of us didn't like it. But it would make sense as to 𝚲𝚘 becoming stronger somehow and being that actual sword and shield for 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑. And hopefully 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑 could still tap into like that devil magic that she was using when she became a devil. That'd be very interesting, because we don't know what are the drawbacks of her coming back into a human. Maybe she still has some of that devil mana / magic still in her, and that'd be very epic that she can start applying that and actually start using attack spells. We'll see where 𝚲𝚑 takes this. This chapter is going to be very interesting, and then of course at the end I definitely see 𝚲𝚑 making us be more interested in the story. So he's going to leave a little bit of flashes, a little bit of hints as to what 𝚲𝚘𝚎𝚑's plan is, because the fourth 𝚲𝚑𝚙 sibling is out there, and Beelzebub we know has one soul, which is Xenon's, so he technically can manifest 33% version of himself to the real world if he does what Magicla did. So we might get a hint as to those mysteries in this chapter, but it's not going to be revealed. But yes, that's basically all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about my predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this chapter? Do you believe that 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛𝚒 is using Lucifer's heart to summon the Time Devil? Do you think Julius has something to do with the Time Devil? Or do you think that 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛𝚒 is using Lucifer's heart for the 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚃 sibling? Do you think the 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚃 planted all this? Do you think it's possible that he planted what's going on with Asta and his power of anti-magic? Do you think it was all his master plan so he can use Asta? When do you think Fagolion is going to finally get his spirit dive? And where do you think Mars is? Do you think Mars is going to come back with his own Earth spirit? I really hope that's the case. Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.